Greetings from the set of choices to you, our precious viewers. God is a good God, and we are His people and the sheep of His pasture. Thanks for allowing us into your space. We release the blessings, mercies, favor, and love of God into your hearts and lives. We want to take this opportunity from the set of choices to salute all our children. And I mean all. You did excellent. You probably did not get the school you desire. We want to say to you today, you are not a failure. We want to say thanks to the Honorable Minister of Education, to the CEO, and all the officials from the Ministry of Education. You did well. And we want to say thank you. To you parents, don't be discouraged. No, this is not the end of the road. We want to challenge you. You're doing a good job. And we want to encourage you to continue. Stay with your children. Work with them. Make that sacrifice. And you will have the best results. We want you to know there's a bright future in front of you. Please remember, a man's life is not determined by its beginning, but by its ending. And so we want to say again from the set of choices, hearty congratulations. You did excellent. Continue the good work. This is choices. We will continue to be with you. We will continue to support you. We love you. And we want you to know God love you and God love beautiful Guyana. Thank you and stay tuned with us.
I think it was Bill Hendricks who said, every child is born gifted. We are all gifted in different ways. And therefore, no one should be viewed or looked upon as a failure. What is important is for us to find out what it is that we are passionate about and begin to feed that gift, begin to move in that direction. And we are saying this because the National Grade 6 Assessment or the Caribbean certificate that our children receive when they write this secondary school exam, those two events do not contribute in a lifelong way to what you will become. I'm trying to put it in a way so that there could be clarity. In other words, failure at the CSEC or even being allocated a school at the NGSA that you may not be appreciative of doesn't mean that your life is over. And we're saying this because we have parents sometimes are applying undue pressure on children because they have not gotten the bishops and QCs and so on. Now, we want to commend at the same time those children who give of their best and ended up in those schools, who were able to move into those schools. We commend them. But we still have a substantial number of students who have not gone to those schools. It doesn't mean that their lives are over. For example, I could speak about me. I was given an opportunity to go into Christchurch Secondary School, and I joined that school from fourth form, for special they call it, because I didn't come through the regular NGSA because of age. Now, the point is today I'm sitting in the chair as a chief education officer, presiding over bishops and QC. And so I want parents to understand that with determination, perseverance, and staying with those children and encouraging them, they will become. And we're not guessing, they will become. I think it was the guy who invented Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb. They will tell you how many times that he failed. But today we could now see We could now use electricity to light our homes and so on, from a man who failed repeatedly until he came through. And so we want to celebrate those who did well, yes, because we cannot put them in the shadows. They did well. And there's so many other persons that I could call who have never gone to those top 5 schools, as we would say, that we are fighting for, because they've not gone there, but they've become prominent people. They've become lawyers, doctors, politicians, and people who are holding considerable positions of authority, and they've never gone to those schools. And so I think what is important is that our parents, please encourage those children to move in a direction where they could still fulfill their giftedness, because every child is born gifted.
I thank God for the professionalism of this program, in that before you were CEO, you were a part of this program. And here you are a CEO, and you have the same opportunity. And this is what we seek to achieve. And on this program, you've proven and you've made the case that one is not a failure, even if one does not get the top 5 or the top 10 school. You're an example. I am an example completely from outside, not being able to grace the hallways of those schools. But on the same program, we have at least 2 young men, 3 of them, who went to the Queens and Bishops, and they continue to do well. But we also have the overwhelming majority who didn't go to those top schools, and here we are, punching above our weight. And this program Choices, we've been at this for 20 years, and we've never had to beg anyone for anything. And we started using the resources that we had, and that was zero. And here we are today, and we want to encourage you. Don't to parents. I speak as a parent. Do not be disillusioned because your child did not get a particular school. Failure at the National Grade 6 does not mean that your child is condemned to fail, doomed to fail. It doesn't mean that. It means that your child is going to get an opportunity, of course, with your support, to explore other avenues and to continue with it. Don't give up. There's a young man, we just call his name in our private briefing, and he failed CXC twice. He has now earned a PhD. He graduated from CPC and from the University of Guyana with high honors. It's amazing. Please, it's not the end of the road. And we really want to encourage you. Don't get mental breakdown. Don't think about hurting yourself. Don't believe that your child has failed you, failed the family. No, none of those things. Let us rally around them, and let us continue to allow the gifting that God placed in them to come to the fore. So we pray that you would not wake up, shake it. This is just one bump in the road. And let's continue, because life is full of opportunities, and we are going to encourage you to encourage your children, encourage yourself. Like David encouraged himself in the Lord, you encourage yourself and support your children. They will make you extremely proud.
Excellent. And to the young people who have done these different exams, I congratulate everyone. And I would tell you to enjoy your education, and focus on benchmarking against your vision of who you want to be, rather than the persons that are just around you. Persons that are around you, other students that are studying in their school or across Guyana or the Caribbean, learn from them, understand the best practices and everything, but don't match yourself or don't try to compare yourself to them, because what's going to happen is that you generally won't be able to do an accurate comparison, because there's some students that have access to more resources, different resources, and naturally that would mean that their performance, there will be something that's there to help them perform better, whether it's good or whether it's bad. But there are different things that you could focus on. But I'd say enjoy your education overall and keep it pushing. That's one of the biggest things. I could remember when I wrote when I did common entrance and got QC, everybody was like, yeah, you got QC. But when I looked at the grades, like I was, I think, 20th place or something like that, and I missed the top 10 by 1 mark. So while people are complaining or celebrating that they get QC, I'm saying I could have been in the top 10. And let me tell you, I remember which was one of the answers that I should have gotten correct. The question came, what is a florist? And they had a couple of other things there, a carpenter would have said good, another one, a captain boat. And they said florist. I had never heard the word florist. So I put somebody that makes flowers. So as you celebrate and as you go through these things, just push past those failures and ensure that you learn from your experiences and enjoy education. Not because you do bad on one test, it's a big test, but not because you do bad on one test means that is the image of your entire academic future. Sometimes you just had a bad day, sometimes you didn't eat the right meal, sometimes you have to be rushing to the washroom a lot, So believe in yourself, trust in God, and keep it pushing.
There's so many situations, so many scenarios, so many experiences that go into preparing for an exam, that go into writing the exam. And many of those stories can remain untold. The traumas, the challenges. We have a lot to give thanks for in terms of being an exam. And whatever the result is, I want to encourage you today with what encouraged me. The outcome of an exam, it is not defining, it is merely descriptive. It is not defining, it is merely descriptive. So the outcome doesn't define who you are, whether you did well or you didn't do well, but it describes how you did at this point in life. And guess what? That description can change for the better. So for those persons who didn't do so well, be encouraged that because this is defining of this time of life, guess what? You can work harder, you can push, you can go back to the drawing board and ensure that the next time you have an opportunity to write an exam, the next time you have an opportunity to show yourself in this regard, that description would be way better than it is now. So don't bury yourself, don't shoot yourself down, because guess what? After CXC, there's university. There are other qualifications at different levels, technical institutes and so on. And you'd be surprised who are the persons that would excel at that level. Everybody is not from a top school that does well beyond CXC. And we have prime examples here. So be encouraged. This is just a part of your journey. It's like running a race. Some people got a really fast start, and then there's bun in the middle. And then they got those who just start less medium, and then they accelerate. And then there's got some people who come from the back and run and win the race. The important thing is to ensure that you know that you are running your race and you're running your race to win the prize, as the scripture says. So whether you're a fast starter or whether you're a medium starter, keep running to finish strong. Keep running. Don't give up. Finish strong.
Excellent, Pastor Josh. Excellent. I love that, because I was thinking of context. So I like the way you ended. As we talk about our children, our future, NGSA, CSEC, CAPE, these exams that just came out in our country, Guyana. And as we discussed, we are encouraging parents, we're encouraging our students, our future. And context is everything. We're talking about don't be disappointed. I was reading an article the other day, I think it was today actually, and it was saying someone one of the NGSA students in Berbice, he was disappointed that he didn't get QC, he got Bishops. All of us have, and those are all top schools. All of us have an issue, some with a school that they desire, some with a school that they didn't get, and so forth. But what I would like to remind us is that all of us worked hard. And context has to do with how did you work? Are you the first person to actually write CSEC? Are you the first person to actually write NGSA? Then you should celebrate that. The score that you get, as Pastor Joshua just eloquently said, it's just your beginning. It doesn't define your entire life. It determines a placement at the moment, but you will change that. You can change that. You have the power to change that with your support group around you. So everything has to do with context. You didn't get the school you want, now double down back. It's called hard work to get to exactly where you want to go. Here, Booker T. Washington, he was an author, orator, and an advisor to many presidents in the US. But hear what he said. Here, you know what he did before he became so famous? He worked in salt mines. He worked in furnaces, earning his money to go to school. And when all of that was done, this is what one of the quotes he left with us. I have learned that success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life, as by the obstacles which he has had to overcome while trying to succeed. So everything has to do with context. It's not your position, but the obstacles that you had to overcome. Are you the first person to graduate? Celebrate that and push on.
Well, another thing that we need to think about is I think the children will make their way. They'll find their way. Whether they didn't do as much as they wanted to at the National Grade 6 or at CSEC or CSEC or CAPE, children, the students will find their way. My big concern is about the parents and whether they will find their way. And since they are the chief supporters, the cheerleaders of their children, if they feel a sense of disappointment, they could negatively impact the mind of that child. And so we are saying to you on this platform, not all of us, using the analogy that Joshua used, not all of us had fast starts or could even consider ourselves moderate starters. Or, some of us, after the gun, we recognize the race's call is gone, and we start running, start really running. And here we are. I'm talking about the mature ones. We have done well in life. We are still alive, and we are continue to make progress. So we want to encourage. I heard an account that last week or the week before, Brickdam, you'd believe it was a carnival, as parents turned up en masse with umbrellas, and they went to that education, the Department of Education, because they were concerned about the school that their child got. It's not, as a friend of mine, a great teacher, Randolph Scott, said, some children, it has nothing to do with the school they attend. They're going to be successful. And your child was made with the ability to succeed. It's inside there. Keep encouraging them. Once they get that support, your support is like rain to a seed that the farmer puts in the ground. You keep supporting them, keep creating the enabling environment, and guess what? In time, that child would make not only you proud, but make the community, your family and the community proud. And for me, some of the biggest heroes are teachers. And I don't know, Dr. Lee, I understand that before you became a successful military man, you were a school teacher. I want to say thanks.
Amen. Thanks, Bishop. The late great Hector McDonald Lee, a head teacher par excellence, was my father. And my mother, still alive, seamstress. And I had the opportunity to write the common entrance twice. and I successfully failed the common entrance on both occasions. But you mentioned the importance of parenting. Persons were concerned that here was this headmaster's son, and this headmaster had gotten several students to attend all the top schools, but the son couldn't pass the exam, sitting it twice. But one thing I learned, they never made me feel as though I was a failure. There was constant encouragement, and I think that has attributed to where I am today. Constant help, constant support, constant encouragement that, keep trying and you will do. So I want to encourage parents. Sometimes parents want to live their dream through their children. They may not have obtained what they wanted in life, and so they see the child or their children as the opportunity to live their dreams through them. But one thing we can do as parents is to observe our child or children, and with the help of God, identify their strong areas. All may not be academics, but they might be those who are skilled, and so with encouragement, we can help them to achieve what God has blessed them with the potential to achieve in life. So I want to encourage parents and also teachers. My teachers played a great role in helping me where I am today.
Dr. Lee, you finished on a point that I wanted to zero in on, but you started the point and you mentioned that your mother was a seamstress. And we want to say that, look, not everybody will be lawyers. Think about the society where we have lawyers, everybody, doctors and so on. And so you mentioned actually the whole issue about the skill, right? The technical and vocational education and training. Now, this is a big area that really could propel a country into a place of prosperity. As a matter of fact, if you look at all the developed countries, if you look at the Germanys, you look at the United States, even Russia and all of those countries, you will recognize that technical and vocational education played a pivotal role in the transformation of those countries. Not English and maths and science, it is the engineering, building things, for example, construction, building construction, mechanical engineering. Then you have the arts, like things like drama. Look at the movie stars, the actors. Look at some people get at one time, this lady Lopez, she used to get $1 million, $10 million for every movie, the Clint Eastwood and so on. So these children have various abilities, and I think for us to choke them and say you have to become a lawyer, you have to become a doctor, we must let the children know that there are other areas that they could explore, that could, even sports. I mean, in choices, globally we talk about sports. There's some parents who said, no sports, no sports. Once you're in sports, you don't become anything and so on. They don't understand. And so we have to give our children an opportunity to flow in an area that they want to go, as we heard, not living our lives through them, but what it is that they want to become, because they must know the passion that they have, the gift that they have. And so I really wanted to zero in this thing about TVET, the technical and vocational education and training. The architects and so on, these people make money and they do well, they add value to society. So let's not pressure them to be what you want them to become, but what it is that they want to become in life. That's where they'll be most successful.
Well, this is truly amazing in terms of us encouraging parents and encouraging teachers, and of course, encouraging children. Some societies are so ordered that they know that in 10 years, in 15, 20 years, they know exactly how many engineers, how many physicians, how many plumbers, how many, they know the skills that they're looking for. I'm talking about, I don't think we have any Caribbean society who we can describe as reaching that level. But in the developed world, they have countries who their planning is very serious, very complex. They've been at this thing of national planning and planning for the future of a country. They're not involved in fighting each other all the time. They really plan for the future of the country, and they know exactly, and they keep moving. So nobody's a failure. You know, it's important. Everybody is doctors. Who will make the bread? Who will be the baker? If everybody is a psychiatrist, how are we going to put watermelon on the table and so on? We need farmers. We need all of these levels. And I rather suspect the time has come for us to really encourage. Parents, we're encouraging you. Some of you have done phenomenal jobs. Great. Teachers, you are the unsung heroes, perhaps in this nation. And someday, and I hope it's soon, you will get your just reward. Let us leave the remainder of the program to our young people who will encourage parents, teachers, students. They might even sing QC song.
No singing, but let us continue to keep our eyes on the prize. Let us set goals, let us achieve goals. And remember, education is that one thing that can't really be taken away from you. Persons could take away your clothes. You could lose your clothes, your vehicle. You could lose your food, your snack. But education is that one thing that it's lifelong. And so ensure that you dedicate the right amount of time and make the sacrifice to be educated, be informed, seek knowledge, seek understanding, seek wisdom. And as Bishop rightfully said, parents, I want to thank you. I am a product of good parenting and support from my elders and my colleagues. And with that, the sky is the limit. Continue to study, continue to work hard. Martin?
In the words of Dory, just keep swimming, keep moving forward, keep driving for success, and by the grace of God, we'll find you. This is Choices. Be blessed.
We thank you for joining us on Choices today. Remember, you can join us at First Assembly, LNP Durban Street, Workmanville, Georgetown, Guyana, for any of our special services. I'm Celacia on behalf of the set, reminding you that your whole life is the sum of your choices. God bless you.